FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
We are an example to the rest of the world, too, in terms of not pursuing any more production of nuclear weapons, but also saying that we will not use nuclear power to attract a non-nuclear country, which is an important statement to be made. And, well, the list goes on, but the difference that it will make in terms of trying to speak to a country like Iran and saying, no, you really should not continue to pursue a weapon of mass destruction, a nuclear weapon. And we are, again, using our leadership as an example as to how we want to minimize this. Because if Iran gets a weapon, and it's a danger to the world, not just to the Middle East, but to the world, and then other countries will want to have weapons if Iran has a weapon, and this proliferation is dangerous is so meager a word to describe what it is. So we're very, very proud that the administration not only was taking these steps, but has the agreement of Russia and the other countries on it.
So, Madam Speaker, you will have this agreement. The agreement will come before Congress to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee first. But do you feel that the healthcare reform victory will create a better environment for what should be a treaty with bipartisan support?
Well, the report that I had yesterday from the chairman of the National Security Council, I spoke to the president about it last week, but then getting more details yesterday, I had the impression that they had bipartisan support for it. We'll see when the treaty has to be ratified, but they were optimistic about provisions in the legislation that could attract bipartisan support. I don't know what the impact of the health care reform bill is. It changes. Originally it was repeal, we're going to repeal. Now they're saying maybe not repeal, maybe we'll talk about something else instead. And this is going to hold up everything else. And I don't think it was working, but I don't know. We'll see when we go back to Washington next week. But I think that members of Congress, the United States Senate, will see their constitutional responsibility to ratify a treaty in a quite different way than health care reform. I would certainly hope so. On that score, this initiative on part of President Obama continues. Next week, he will have scores of heads of state coming to Washington to talk about a non-proliferation. And then in the beginning of May is the UN conference on the subject. So this is an ongoing conversation that is the most important one. Nothing is more of a danger and threat to the security of the world than, of course, the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. And in some ways, when Dr. Duffy and I were in Latin America a generation ago, we were in a bipolar situation. So it was Russia, Soviet Union, U.S. by and large. In some ways, that had more security and deterrence than the rogue states getting weapons of mass destruction and what the threat that could be.